Getting ready for a happy new year and what's coming in 2019 today on BCP. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Blue Collar Proud Show, the show that's all about having and living the blue collar business dream. If you can dream it, you can build it. Taylor and I have so enjoyed being a part of your success every single week.
We have, man. It's been a fun ride.
It has. I'm Carter Harkins. You're Taylor Hill.
I am.
And we've got there's no agenda today other than to just talk with you guys and recap. This actually marks
3 years.
I don't know what the actual episode number is.
Well,
but
52 times 3.
Yeah, but there's like a couple of variations in there and a couple of 0.5s and everything. So we're kind of, it's the numbers, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it doesn't matter. It's been 3 years.
It's a lot.
We've been doing this podcast for 3 years.
Yep.
Every single week for those 3 years. And it has been just an incredible ride.
It's been a lot of fun. We've gotten to talk to some great people.
Oh, man. And the relationships we've built.
Yeah. Just fantastic. And I'll tell you, if you're new to the show, go back and look at some of those old episodes, because let me tell you, it's good stuff. And it still applies today because it is good business practice stuff. So
you're probably gathering from where we're headed here that there's an announcement to be made. We might as well make it.
Might as well.
We are stopping the weekly schedule of releases on our podcast. And we are moving to we'll release something when we have something to say schedule.
Yeah, because what we're finding is we're repeating ourselves, we think, too much in some of the information.
We're getting a little bit repetitive, and quite honestly, our business has grown to the point that producing a weekly show has become a real struggle. And we have a limited window of opportunity. For those of you who maybe have just found our podcast, we should tell you that all this time we've been running Spark Marketer, which is an online SEO and marketing company for contractors and blue collar service businesses. It's been our privilege to grow that business and help so many blue collar service business owners. But we've grown it, and it's a pretty big company now. I mean, we've got 20 employees and a lot to do there. But we've also started a new company called Closing Commander, and it's an app for helping service businesses close more of the open estimates in their business. And we've got a limited window of opportunity to really get that off the ground. And one of the reasons that we're moving to a different schedule with the podcast is because we want to fully take advantage of this opportunity to get that done. Mm-hmm. We are narrowing our focus in order to make something else succeed. And so, you may be listening to this and thinking, oh man, I loved listening to the podcast. Why are they doing this to me? Yet another podcast fading out of existence. We're not fading out of existence, but we're doing something that we would tell any of you that you need to do if you're growing something and you see an opportunity, which is narrow your focus, narrow the obligations that you have on a daily and weekly basis to where you can put all of your energy and effort behind that one thing that you're trying to launch or move forward. And when you're starting a business, that's exactly what you have to do. I mean, that's it, right? Mm-hmm. You cannot start your own business and not give it 180%. 250%. You've got to focus. You've got to niche down, focus down, apply all of your effort to the biggest things and challenges in front of you. And right now for us, that is Closing Commander.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes down to one simple fact. When we started the podcast, Closing Commander wasn't even a thought. We didn't even...
Yeah, that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. We didn't even start on it. We hadn't even... thought there was a need for it. I mean, honestly. And then throughout talking to business owners and seeing what they're struggled in and trying to find a product and realizing there is no product that does what they need to have done, and then taking on the challenge of let's create this product and spending 2 years on it, and really it's not just the technical aspect of the product. It's the writing. It's
a whole new company.
Whole new company of it. And then realizing that our focus is so split because we do have Spark Marketer, we've got the podcast, and then this other thing, and we really felt like once we actually released it and found out that yes, this does answer a need, we just feel like it's really important to get it in front of as many service businesses as we can possibly do within the next year or two in order to make sure that this part of their business runs smoothly.
Really within the next 6 to 8 months. I mean, this we want to move quickly to get this, fully moving and going.
You know me. I think differently.
Yeah, but I mean, during that 6 to, so here's the thing, right? Closing Commander is requiring, we're at that stage where it's important. I mean, we've been building it this entire time while we've been podcasting, but we're at that right now. We're at the moment where we could either run this as this nice little side project that makes us a few bucks, or we could get really serious about it and turn it into a company that is, really going somewhere. Yeah. And we have looked at all of the things that we've got, all the plates that we've got spinning, all of the opportunities that are in front of us for speaking and, continuing the relationships that we've built through the podcast and all of those things. And there's something's got to give in order for us to apply the kind of focused effort we have to focus on getting Closing Commander to become the kind of company we want it to become. So, we're for now, and this is indefinite. We don't have a release schedule for the next episode of Blue Collar Proud. We're simply saying we will be releasing new episodes at some point, whenever that may be, but we're not sure yet. But we want to make sure that we're not a jack of all trades and a master of none. I think if we were trying to focus equally on Closing Commander as we are on with Blue Collar Proud, we'd be doing a lousy job at both.
Yeah.
And you deserve more as a listener to this show. When we release an episode, we want it to be highly focused content that is dripping with the stuff that you need in order to help you grow your business and solve specific problems. And in the last couple of months, I don't think we've been that. And I think you deserve better than that. I think we've brought good content, but it's been harder to find it than it has been in the past. And like Taylor said, we've created 3 years of great content. It's a masterclass in growing a successful blue collar business. And it's certainly worth a listen. So if you're missing this podcast, if you're a listener to the show every single week, first of all, thank you so much for 3 years or however many times you've listened. Thank you for your loyal listenership. We so appreciate you being in our audience and for giving us that attention of yours every single week. And what we want to encourage you to do is go back and start from day one, from the first episode when we weren't even Blue Collar Proud yet. We were still guys in trucks. Mm-hmm. Start there and listen to the content that we released from there and just listen forward. And then when you get to the end of it, go back and listen to it again. There's so much good stuff there, right? With any masterclass, with any life lesson, you learn something when you go through it. Any book that you read, whatever it is, you learn something when you go through it. But then if you go through it again, you learn totally new things at a new level for where you are right now. So I have a feeling that the content that we've created has that potential for you. And I want to encourage you, don't stop listening to the show and the good content that's in it just because we're not releasing new episodes. Go back and listen to the old stuff. I think you'll get a lot from it.
I think the other thing that's important is go to the website, give us your email. We're not going to spam you and all that kind of stuff, but we will let you know when content gets released.
Yeah. Because we're not on a regular weekly basis, it's important for us to be able to notify you. And the best way for many of you to be able to do that is just through an email sign up. And there's one on our website. It's been there forever. You may not have known about it. Right on the homepage, Blue Collar Proud or bcpshow.com, there's a sign up link. And it's just for a notification every single time that there's a new episode. And that was on a weekly basis before. Now it's on an indefinite as we can basis. But if you want to know when a new episode drops in the future, go ahead and enter your email address and we'll let you know. We'll send out an email. And that's the only time we'll use that, to send out an email for when we have new content for you produced on the show.
So
And
I have a question
yeah.
because I'm not sure. Because I have the app and it notifies me when something drops. So if you have the app, will it automatically? I'm assuming it would keep notifying me.
Yep, the app will work as well and will continue to be supported. The website will still be there. We're not stopping anything. We're not dissolving or going away or ending the show by any stretch. We're just saying at this moment we've got to do well by our employees and by the opportunity that we have to take this new idea that's gotten so much traction. We've won awards already for this little app. We've had showings at premier trade shows where we've been placed in the top 4 innovative new products. This is a real opportunity for us, and we've got to seize it. And the only way we do that is to narrow our focus. And we would tell you, if you're in that same situation, to do exactly that same thing. It's not fair to your employees to be spread too thin. It's not fair to your loved ones and your family to be scattered out over too many things. And it's not fair to you to continue producing content that isn't our absolute focused best. And so for that reason, we only want to bring you content when we have that level of concentration to give you. You deserve that. So it's not an easy decision either.
No, this is fun. This is kind of an ego thing for you and I.
We
We've
love
talked about it
doing this.
We enjoy it.
And it's been so satisfying to connect with all of you and know that a lot of the things that we talk about on a weekly basis have impacted you and helped you grow your business, to get unstuck in places where you've been stuck, to think, you know what, it is possible for me to grow a business that gives me everything that I want in my life instead of sucking me dry. Those have been amazing things. It's led to opportunities to be able to speak all over the country. This has been phenomenal for us in many ways that were never expected. And so we're acknowledging all of those things, and it is a difficult decision to say we're not going to continue on the weekly schedule, but yet we do feel like it's what we need to do.
Yep.
And I don't think there's anything else really to say about it. We just needed to get in front of you and tell you a little bit about the real reasons why we're making this decision, and let this be the last podcast that we'll be doing for a while going into 2019.
Yeah. So I'm going to say something that's not even podcast related, but going into 2019, make sure you get a calendar out and create some goals. Your marketing calendar should be done this time of year. There's some things like that you can certainly be doing, and I'm going to encourage every one of y'all to do that. Figure out what you're going to be doing. If you haven't and you've got it calculated and spread out over the year, then there's no question when you go into the next month what you're going to do. So do that. Make sure you've got a plan going into 2019. I mean, it's really, really important to just to take some time at the end of this year, recoup, figure out that 1 or 2 things that you didn't get done in 2018 that you think is going to move your company forward the most, and put plans in action, put goals out there, and get that done in 2019. Because we really want everyone that listens to this, and really everyone in the home service industries, to be highly successful.
Absolutely. So this is going to wrap up not only this episode of the Blue Collar Proud Show, but for the foreseeable future, any new episodes as well. And again, we just want to thank you so much for being in our audience and listening. And I just want to shout out to the folks that have been diligently, these are members of our crew and our business, Spark Marketer, who have been split focus between what they do in Spark Marketer for us and for our clients, as well as focused on this show. And they've done just an exceptional job every single week of bringing you this show and making it possible. And I mention them every single week at the end of the show. But just to highlight them, Aaron Blaze is one of our account managers at Spark Marketer. He's responsible for quite a number of our clients, and he does a phenomenal job in that role. And in addition to that, every single week, he finds time to sit behind the soundboard with a pair of headphones on and make sure that this show sounds its absolute best. And I think he's done that exceptionally well, even through some changes and bumps along the way with the show format. He's our technical director, which means that all of the technical parts of what our show requires in order to be pulled off successfully every single week are within his purview. Not only that, he's also looked at how to make sure that we stay scheduled out because of our travel schedule and everything else, to make sure that we have the content needed in order to actually produce a full show every single week for you. So he does an amazing job with that and is certainly appreciated. Jessica Wynn actually left this year to pursue another job, and we're excited for her and what she's doing. She's no longer our show coordinator. We've kind of been handling that just through the end of this year through the work that she's already done. So we've continued to acknowledge her as our show coordinator. But I cannot imagine producing a regular weekly show with guest interviews without someone like Jessica Wynn to cover what needed to be covered in coordinating everything. It's like herding cats, to get everybody in the same place at the same time and pulled off to pull off a remote interview or even an in-studio interview. And she did it with grace and aplomb. She was organized beyond any of our capabilities and brought that considerable skill to the table every single week to help us do that. And she is already sorely missed. Also want to acknowledge Jonathan Sanders. We keep calling him our community manager, which he is. If you are in our Blue Collar Proud Nation Facebook group, which is also continuing, by the way, if you're a member of that group, then you've certainly seen Jonathan around. He posts our weekly takeaway post every single week. He posts other things on other pages. He manages all of our social media presence, and he also shoots all of our video. If you've gotten our Blue Collar Proud Show app, then you know that the bonus material that we release every single week is the video version of our show, of the interview segments. And it's good stuff, and it takes a lot of time to produce. And Jonathan has faithfully done that every single week for the entire duration of our show. Well, actually, we introduced video a little bit later. Year 2, I guess, was when we first started really doing that. But he's refined that process, made it work even better, helped us organize our studio to be able to just literally, all Taylor and I have to do is come in, sit down behind the desk, say, what are we talking about today? Who's the interview? And are we ready? And they go, yep, we're good to go. We're rolling video, we're rolling audio, let's go. So Jonathan has brought just a tremendous amount of professionalism to that role, as well as his understanding of social media, which thank God he understands it. And he's the one that goes, well, you can't do what you're trying to do because hey, let me see your phone. And then he'll figure out Facebook and hand it back and go, okay, you're set, you're ready to go. All of these professionals, these 3 that have helped us behind the scenes, have done a phenomenal job of contributing their skills and their best and highest contributions to making this show work. I don't know if they're, honestly, I haven't asked them whether a brief, changing our schedule to just whenever, whether that's a relief to them or not. But I sense that there's probably a certain sadness that comes with changing that part of it and knowing that we don't have that to look forward to as part of our, routine. I know for me, it will be something that I miss. And I hope that we'll hear from you, Proud Nation, and hear how things are going. Find out from you if you miss us too. And we plan on coming back when we've got additional things that we want to say, and we'll talk to you then and bring some really good things your way. I think we can wrap it up right there.
Wrap it up right there.
In fact, let's not even play the outro music.
Yeah, just really
leave
appreciate
it
everybody
hanging
for the next time.